The drama begins with the female lead, C2Mo, whom everyone calls Momo. Momo is a senior student in the accounting department, but she was supposed to go for an advertisement audition that day. Momo is still asleep when a call comes on her mobile. As she reaches to pick it up, the phone falls and its screen cracks, but she pays no attention to it and receives the call. Her friend Fu Pei tells her, "I have come to pick you up." Hearing this, Momo quickly gets ready and goes outside. He's about to take her to a company interview, so he is taking her there on his bicycle. But on the way, Fu Pei's bicycle collides with a boy, and this boy is the male lead of the drama, Gu Wei. Due to the collision, all three fall to the ground. When Gu Wei looks at them, he says nothing. However, because of the fall, Momo's dress gets caught in the bicycle. Seeing this, Gu Wei pulls her dress free from the bicycle, picks up his own bag and walks away, which causes her dress to tear. No one pays any attention to this, and Fu Pei takes Momo to the company. Just then, Fu Pei gets a call from his friend who asks him to come and play a game with him. At first, Fu Pei refuses again and again, but after his friend insists a great deal, he talks to Momo about it. Momo tells him to go. Meanwhile, on the other side, Gu Wei goes to take an important exam. Whoever passes it will get entry into Professor Jiang's class. Now, when Gu Wei starts taking things out of his bag, sanitary pads come out of it. Seeing this, Gu Wei is shocked. It then becomes clear that when he had pulled Momo's dress free, his bag had been exchanged with Momo's bag. And when Gu Wei is asked for his admit card was in that same bag. Because of not having the admit card, he is not allowed to sit for the exam. On the other side, Momo is giving her interview and is sharing her interesting ideas, hearing which the manager asks her for a sample advertisement. Momo then hands her Gu Wei's sports notice, and seeing it, they see Momo's non-serious behavior and reject her. Momo then realizes that this is Gu Wei's bag. Meanwhile, when Gu Wei comes out, Fu Pei's call comes on Momo's mobile. Gu Wei receives the call and tells him everything. After this, Fu Pei calls both of them and introduces them to each other. From Fu Pei's words, it becomes clear that Gu Wei is a genius and also Fu Pei's roommate. Then Momo and Gu Wei exchange bags. Gu Wei starts checking his bag, and seeing this, both of them are surprised. Then Momo also checks her bag, and when she does not find the sanitary pads in it, she tells Gu Wei, "You should not have done that." Hearing this, Fu Pei asks, "Why did he do it?" Momo says, "Girls' stuff." Hearing this, Fu Pei looks at Gu Wei in shock, and Gu Wei is embarrassed and is about to say something, but Momo says, "It's okay. You can keep them as a gift." Hearing this, Gu Wei says, "But what will I do with them?" Momo jokingly tells him to return the sanitary pads and then leaves. After this, Momo goes to her room singing, where her roommates Meng, Wang, and Niu are surprised to see her so happy. Wang asks her the reason for her happiness, and Momo tells her, "Nothing. I just had a strange encounter with a boy today." The next day, Momo is conducting a class when the computers there break down. The teacher asks for a technician to be called to fix them, but just then, Gu Wei comes and starts fixing the computers. All the girls in the class are happy to see Gu Wei and start staring at him. A little while later, the technicians arrive, but by then, Gu Wei has already fixed everything. Seeing this, everyone is shocked. Then Gu Wei starts walking toward Momo. Momo does not understand why, but Gu Wei picks up a key from under her desk and gives it to her. After class, Momo goes to a technical shop to get her mobile fixed, where Gu Wei is already present. The shopkeeper says that changing the screen is expensive, so Gu Wei takes the tools and fixes his own mobile himself. Seeing this, Momo is surprised. Gu Wei asks for her mobile, and after little hesitation, Momo gives it to him. Gu Wei fixes her mobile as well in just a short while. Momo happily says thank you to him, but when the shopkeeper asks Gu Wei for his number, he immediately refuses and leaves. After this, Momo is going to give an interview at the company, so she is sitting at the bus stop waiting for Fu Pei. But Fu Pei does not come there. She calls him again and again, but Fu Pei does not reply, and because of this, one bus comes and goes. When the second bus comes, Momo sends Fu Pei a message and starts going to the company alone. But the place is quite deserted. Just then, two men come and try to snatch Momo's bag. In this scuffle, Momo's arm gets hurt, and they take the bag and leave. Now Momo has no money to get back, so she calls Fu Pei. But Fu Pei's mobile is in the room, so Gu Wei picks it up. Momo tells him to send Fu Pei to her. Just then, Momo's mobile switches off. Now Gu Wei does not know where Fu Pei is, so he himself goes to pick up Momo, seeing which she is shocked and asks about Fu Pei. Gu Wei tells her, "I did not know where Fu Pei was, so I came myself to get you." Saying this, Gu Wei calmly helps Momo into the car. Momo is in a lot of pain, so Gu Wei takes out a tissue from his bag and asks her to clean the wound. She takes the tissue and starts cleaning the wound, but it hurts her a lot. So Gu Wei takes out a new tissue and cleans the wound himself and tells her to go to the hospital. But Momo says there is no need to go to the hospital. Gu Wei then tells her, "If the injury does not heal in time, your arm will have to be cut off." Hearing this, Momo agrees to go to the hospital. After reaching the hospital, Gue comes back with a wheelchair for her. Since Momo's injury is not that serious, she refuses to sit in the wheelchair. Gue starts scaring her again, so Momo sits in the wheelchair and feels quite embarrassed. Now as Gue takes her to the doctor thinks there is a serious problem, but Momo tells the doctor everything. And hearing this, the doctor says, "You could have brought her here without the wheelchair. You are showing too much love." Hearing this, Momo starts feeling embarrassed. Then the doctor bandages Momo's wound and writes a prescription. Gue again asks Momo to sit in the wheelchair, but Momo asks him to remove the wheelchair. Seeing this, the doctor says, "It's okay. These are the hospital's facilities. We can use them sometimes." Hearing this, she sits in the wheelchair. After they leave, the doctor starts laughing. Now, as the two go outside, Fu Pei arrives there and says sorry to Momo. Momo then tells him to go get the medicine. Gue takes him to go get it. Now we see a scene from the past where Gue had gone to buy sanitary pads for Momo, but on reaching there, he feels very embarrassed and leaves without buying the pads. Now, in the present scene, Fu Pei is playing football when Momo passes by. Seeing Fu Pei playing football, she starts watching him. Now we see a past scene where, during school time, Fu Pei had told Momo that they would become one after school. Because of this, Momo had been very happy. In the present scene, Fu Pei comes and stands beside her. She tells him, "I have an interview today. Will you come with me?" But Fu Pei refuses and tells her, "I have a football match today." Hearing this, Momo gets angry and leaves. Then Fu Pei laughs and tries to stop her. After this, Momo is sitting at the bus stop when Gue comes there. Momo asks him the reason for coming, and Gue tells her, "Fu Pei sent me." Now we see a past scene when Gue was in the lab and got a call from Fu Pei, who asked him to go with Momo. Gue refuses, so Fu Pei tells him, "I have your military training video. I will show it to everyone." Hearing this, Gue agrees to go with Momo. In the present scene, the two get on the bus where Gue does not sit with Momo, but sits in the back seats. But just then, Professor Sion also gets on the bus. Seeing him, Gue quickly sits beside Momo and puts in one of her earphones. Then Professor Sion comes up to him and asks, "So what did you decide?" Gue says, "Don't disturb me. I am in a relationship." Hearing this, Momo is shocked. And when Gue looks at her, she also nods along. Then Professor tells Momo, "A few days ago, Gue had an important exam, but Gue forgot his admit card, and because of that, he could not take the exam. I could not understand how Gue could make such a mistake. But after meeting you, I understood that this happens in a relationship." Hearing this, Momo feels bad. Then the professor tells her, "We had given him a chance and asked him to talk to Professor Jiang, but he did not agree." Just then, the station for the professor to get off arrives, so he leaves. Then Gue and Momo start smiling while listening to a song. After reaching the company, Momo goes inside to give the interview. The company is in very bad condition, but Momo gives the interview anyway. After the interview, both go back to the bus stop, where Momo takes a deep breath. Gue starts looking at her and then starts taking something out of his bag, but Momo thanks him and takes him along to have a meal with her. After this, Gue goes to his room when Fu Pei asks him about Momo's interview. Gue says, "I did not ask her about it." Then Fu Pei asks, "By the way, isn't Momo very cute?" After thinking for a while, Gue says, "I did not look at her properly." On the other side, Momo goes to her room and is telling everyone about Gue. Then her friend asks her, "After all, who is that boy? What is his name?" Momo says, "You don't know him? His name is Gue." Hearing this, all three are shocked and say, "Oh, he's that handsome boy who tops every time, but unfortunately this time one of his exams was missed." Hearing this, Momo thinks, "Oh, so Gue is very famous at the university. I was the only one who didn't know him." The next day, Momo goes to Professor Seon, who then takes her to Professor Jiang. Momo tells Professor Jiang everything, and after a great deal of difficulty, the professor agrees. He gives Momo a tough paper and tells her to get it solved from Gue. Seeing this, Momo is happy and takes the paper and goes to Fu Pei and tells him everything. Fu Pei tells her, "Gue does not talk straightforwardly. He only talks about what he wants to talk about." Hearing this, Momo says, "I will talk to him myself. Take me to him." Then Fu Pei takes her to Gue, where Gue is doing an experiment with laser lights. Seeing them, he stops the experiment. Then Momo tells him everything, but Gue refuses. Momo says, "Professor Jiang thinks you don't know anything. He will never be able to solve my equation." Hearing this, Gue agrees to solve the paper. While Gue is solving the paper, Momo starts drawing cartoons on the board. When Gue solves an equation on the board, he erases it. Seeing this, Momo thanks him. After a long time after solving the paper, all three go to a restaurant to eat. There, a waitress brings them drinks and asks Fu Pei, "Does your girlfriend drink?" Hearing this, Fu Pei says, "She is not my girlfriend, and she does not drink." Hearing this, Momo feels very bad and agrees to take the drink, and then starts drinking a lot. Seeing this, Gue feels bad. Just then, a little while later, Gue says yes to something, a hearing which Fu Pei is shocked. After eating, Momo gets drunk and, because of this, keeps insulting Fu-pei and calling him arrogant. Seeing this, Gu-wei laughs. When Momo leaves, Fu-pei asks Gu-wei, "Why was the professor thinking that you two are boyfriend and girlfriend?" Gu-wei tells him everything and says, "You don't understand Momo's feelings." Fu-pei says, "I am a very good friend of hers." Gu-wei says, "Oh, is that so? Then you are deliberately not trying to understand Momo." Saying this, Gu-wei leaves. Fu-pei starts thinking. Now we see a past scene where Fu-pei had made Momo his best friend only to impress the class girls. And because of this, Momo had gotten angry. The next day, when Momo is still asleep, she gets a call from a company. When Momo picks up, she is offered a job. Hearing this, Momo quickly gets ready and starts going to the company. But just then, Fu-pei is standing outside. Seeing him, she asks, "Did I do something wrong with you last night?" Fu-pei tells a lie and says, "You kissed me and touched my whole body." Hearing this, Momo is shocked. On the other side, Gu-wei goes to Professor Jiang. Professor Jiang asks him, "Did you solve this paper by yourself?" Gu-wei answers yes, and the professor, impressed by him, asks him to join his class. After this, Momo goes to that company and gets selected. After the company, Momo is coming back to the canteen with food when her mom calls her. Momo is walking while talking to her, but then her foot starts slipping. Gu-wei comes and helps her, takes the food to the table, and leaves to get his own food. Momo keeps watching him. Then her mom asks her to rent her friend's house because they know Momo's company is far away, but Momo refuses. In the next scene, Momo goes to the company for her first day, where all her tasks are explained to her. In this way, Momo works very hard for a few days and does all her work well. One day, when Momo finishes work and is going back home, she misses her bus because the seats are full. Just then, her mom calls her. She tells her mom that she missed her bus. Hearing this, her mom says, "It's fine. I have already talked to my friend Shu. From now on, you will stay at her house." This time, Momo agrees, and after packing her things, comes to that house, where she finds the house very dirty. Just then, her eyes fall on a decoration piece that has FP written on it. Then, after cleaning the house, Momo sets it up in her own way. The next day, Momo goes to the library after the company. Gu-wei is also there, reading a book about the future. Momo says hi to him and says, "You are reading a book about the future. Tell me my future, too." He says, "Don't joke." Just then, Gu-wei notices a strange smell and asks Momo about it. But Momo says, "I don't smell anything." Gu-wei says, "The smell is coming from you." Momo says, "Oh yes, I had rice noodles today, that's why." Gu-wei says, "It would be better if you go to the hostel and take a shower." Hearing this, Momo tells him, "These days I am not going to the hostel. If I go back to the hostel, I will have to pay the bill, and right now my finances are tight." At night, Momo's mom calls her and tells her, "Keep the house clean because you told me that her children are coming to stay there for a few days." Momo replies that she has kept the house very clean, but in reality, the house is in very bad condition. After talking to her mom, Momo is watching a horror movie and is getting very scared when the door opens, because of which she starts screaming loudly. But it is Gu-wei standing there, who is Aunt Shu's son. Seeing him, Momo covers herself because she is not wearing her inner garment and asks, "Are you Aunt Shu's son?" Before she can even finish her sentence, Gu-wei tells her that he is indeed her son. Then Gu-wei looks around the entire house, which is quite messy. Seeing this, Gu-wei starts to leave. Momo says, "I was just about to clean this house, but you came today." Gu-wei says, "I was coming back after the experiment when it started raining heavily, so I came here." Saying this, he asks Momo to clean the house, to which Momo says, "I will do it," because Momo had not put on her inner garment. So she asks him to leave and says she will clean the house herself. But Gu-wei asks her to do it now. Momo tells him, "I haven't put on my inner garment." Hearing this, Gu-wei asks her to go change and goes into the room. But that room too is quite messy because of Momo. Meanwhile, just as Momo gets up to clean, Gu-wei comes back, seeing which Momo sits down on the floor. After this, Gu-wei and Momo together clean the entire house. Then Gu-wei starts noticing a smell from himself, so he asks her, "Will you shower first or me?" Momo asks him to shower first. Gu-wei asks her to wait and leaves. Momo waits for quite a long time, but Gu-wei takes a very long time in the shower, because of which she gets very angry. And at that very moment, Momo remembers that her bra is inside. Because of this, Momo keeps roaming outside the bathroom. Meanwhile, after Gu-wei takes a shower while he is drying his hair, his eyes fall on a small tub in which something is kept. Seeing this, Gu-wei lifts it with a brush to look, and it is Momo's bra. Seeing this, Gu-wei quickly throws it back into the tub, comes outside, and asks Momo, "Do you have only one toothbrush?" She answers yes. Hearing this, Gu-wei quickly leaves. Then Momo quickly goes to the bathroom and looks at her toothbrush. It is in the same tub as the bra. Because of this, she feels embarrassed. After showering, when Momo comes out, Gu-wei is sitting outside with a lot of brushes laid in front of him and tells her to pick one. Momo picks up all the brushes and starts to leave, so Gu-wei tells her, "Mine is also in there." Hearing this, Momo throws one brush away and leaves. Then Gu Wei is asleep in the other room, but he cannot fall asleep, so he gets up, knocks on Momo's room door, and tells her, "I can only sleep in my own bed." Hearing this, Momo opens the door, but she is not feeling well, and when Gu Wei asks her, she tells him, "I have a stomachache." Hearing this, Gu Wei quickly gives her medicine. After taking the medicine, she faints. Seeing this, Gu Wei gets worried and calls an ambulance. After this, they are at the hospital where the doctor tells Gu Wei she fainted because she got gas from eating rice noodles. Gu Wei asks, when will she regain consciousness? The doctor then sarcastically says, "If you care so much about your girlfriend, you should take very good care of her." Saying this, the doctor starts to leave, but just then a child is crying very loudly. Seeing this, the doctor checks the child, but nothing is wrong with the child. So he tells the child's parents this, but the child's dad is not willing to accept this, and, in anger, picks up a plate and throws it toward the doctor. That plate was about to hit Momo, but Gu Wei covers her to save her. And in this process, the two get very close to each other, because of which Gu Wei's heartbeat also increases. Just then, Momo also regains consciousness, and the two start looking at each other. Then, Gu Wei quickly moves away. The next morning, Gu Wei comes with food for her. Seeing the food, Momo is happy and quickly picks up a bread roll and starts eating. Gu Wei tells her to eat porridge. Momo refuses, and Gu Wei looks at her angrily. Seeing this, Momo quickly starts eating porridge, and Gu Wei sits down to use his mobile. Seeing this, Momo is about to pick up a bread roll and take a bite when Gu Wei catches her looking, because of which Momo quickly puts it down. Just then, a nurse comes and checks Momo and tells her, "Stop eating all this. If the doctor sees you, he will be angry." Momo tells her, "I am eating porridge." Hearing this, the nurse leaves. Momo quickly picks up a sesame ball. Gu Wei watches her, so she quickly pops the sesame ball into her mouth. Just then, the doctor also comes there. So Gu Wei quickly stands in front of Momo. Seeing this, the doctor is shocked and tells him to move aside. Gu Wei says, "You cannot look at my girlfriend." Hearing this, Momo starts coughing. Gu Wei quickly goes to her side. Seeing this, the doctor smiles and leaves. After this, Momo is discharged, so Gu Wei is packing all the things. Momo says, "My hair is very oily. Do you have a rubber band?" He says, "Do you think I would have one?" Saying this, Gu Wei leaves to get medicine, and also gets a rubber band from there. Now when he comes back with the medicine, Fu Pei is sitting beside Momo. Seeing this, Gu Wei puts the rubber band in his pocket. Then Fu Pei starts taking Momo to leave, but just then the doctor comes in front of Momo and says, "Take care of yourself and also take good care of your boyfriend, because if something happens to you, your boyfriend will go crazy." Saying this, the doctor leaves. After hearing the doctor's words, Fu Pei is shocked. Momo tells him the doctor had a misunderstanding, and then all three leave from there. In the next scene, Gu Wei is packing his things and going to stay at that house. Momo sends him a message saying, "Give me the keys to your house. My things are there. I will come, pick up my things, and come back." Seeing this, Gu Wei does not reply and starts to leave with his things. Just then, Momo is also standing there. Seeing her, Gu Wei asks her to come along. Just then, Fu Pei also sees all this and follows them to the house. Seeing both of them entering the house together, Fu Pei is shocked and tells the driver to go anywhere. The driver then tells him about his own experiences. Hearing this, Fu Pei asks him to go back. On the other side, Momo asks Gu Wei, "Why is your mood bad?" He answers no. Just then, Momo quickly runs to the room and comes out carrying a bedsheet saying, "I washed this bedsheet yesterday, but it hasn't dried yet. I will hang it outside. Bring it in when it dries." Gu Wei says, "Now, you want me to wait for it to dry? I can't do that. You stay here and set it up for me before you leave." Hearing this, Momo scolds him, saying, "You idiot, it won't straighten out unless I beat it." Saying this, Momo goes to hang the bedsheet and calls Gu Wei for help. As Gu Wei grabs the bedsheet, Momo falls down in the process. Seeing this, Momo is shocked and asks, "Why did you let go of it?" He says, "I thought you were about to hit me." Hearing this, Momo picks up a stick. Gu Wei gets scared again, so Momo says while laughing, "I won't hit you." Then both of them go downstairs where the bedsheet is hanging in a tree. Momo asks Gu Wei to get it down with the stick. Gu Wei jumps and tries to get the bedsheet down, but the bedsheet falls on Momo. As Momo starts removing the bedsheet, she gets very close to Gu Wei. Just then, Fu Pei also sees both of them. After this, Fu Pei is sitting in Gu Wei's house and looking at both of them, says strange things. "Oh, this fruit basket is empty." Gu Wei tries to explain to Fu Pei, but Fu Pei changes the subject and says, "I will bring watermelon next time because everyone eats that this season." Saying this, Fu Pei places the basket on his head and says, "I am feeling good." Gu Wei takes the basket off and says, "You look dirty," and then starts to leave. Fu Pei says, "It seems I am disturbing you." Gu Wei tries to explain to him, but Fu Pei says, "You're not trying to say that you two have never been together alone." Hearing all this, Momo does not reply. Fu Pei says, "Momo, you should not have done this to me. You could have explained to me that we are only good friends. You should not have done this." Momo says, "What kind of relationship do we have? What can we do between friends?" Fu Pei says, as a good friend, I will tell you that Gu Wei and you make a very good pair. Saying this, he leaves. Momo is very sad. Gu Wei tries to talk to Momo, but she uses the bedsheet as an excuse and leaves. After this, when Momo is sitting very sadly, Gu Wei comes with a watermelon for her and both start eating it. Gu Wei starts asking Momo about Fu Pei, so she quickly takes a big bite of the watermelon and tells him, I like this very much. Gu Wei takes an even bigger bite and says, I like it more than you do. Then both of them keep taking big bites of the watermelon. Just then, a call comes for Momo, hearing which she leaves. Gu Wei takes a bite of her watermelon and starts smiling. The next day, Momo's mom comes to meet her and talks a lot with Gu Wei. Then Momo's mom asks Gu Wei, do you have a girlfriend? He says no, so the mom says, now you should get a girlfriend. Gu Wei answers yes to this. Then Momo's mom brings walnut and black sesame for Gu Wei and asks him to make a nice dish. Hearing this, Momo tries to stop Gu Wei, but Gu Wei says yes. The mom asks Gu Wei to shell the walnuts and leaves. On the other side, Fu Pei is drinking a lot when Wang also comes there and sees Fu Pei drinking like that. Without saying anything, she starts to take her own order and leave, but the waitress there bumps into some people and those people start rudely demanding money from the waitress. Wang tries to talk to them, but they start talking rudely to Wang as well. Seeing this, Fu Pei comes there, gives his wallet to the waitress, tells her to pay them from it, and takes Wang away. On the way, Wang asks him, why did you drink so much? Fu Pei says, because I failed CET4. She says, will you start drinking over such a small thing? Fu Pei sits down sadly. Wang says, work hard and take the exam again. I will help you in this. Did Momo not tell you that I am the top student in the class? After hearing Momo's name, Fu Pei starts asking Wang about her. On the other side, Gu Wei is cracking walnuts with the door when Momo comes and makes fun of him, saying, is that how anyone cracks walnuts? Come, I will show you how. Saying this, when Momo cracks a walnut with the door, her walnut cracks too. Seeing this, Momo's mom shows them how to crack walnuts with keys, which makes the walnut come out whole. Seeing this, Momo asks Gu Wei to crack a walnut the same way. After this, everyone starts eating together, and Momo and Gu Wei like the food very much. The next morning, Momo's mom is waking her up, but Momo does not wake up. Hearing all this, Gu Wei is sitting in his room and smiling. A little while later, when Gu Wei comes out, Momo asks him in a restaurant style, what would you like to have, sir? Then the mom quiets her down and asks her to go get food for Gu Wei. While eating, Gu Wei starts smiling at the bickering between Momo and her mom. In the next scene, Wang is studying with Fu Pei. Fu Pei says he wants to meet Momo, so Wang tells him to solve some questions first, and then she will get him to meet Momo. He then starts studying well. At night, when Gu Wei comes home, Momo's mom asks him to cut vegetables. Hearing this, he asks the mom, what size should I cut the vegetables? The mom tells him to cut them to 1 centimeter. Hearing this, Gu Wei brings his ruler and starts cutting vegetables to exactly 1 centimeter. Just then, Momo comes and makes fun of him, saying, do you need a microscope? Hearing this, Gu Wei calms down. Then Momo's mom comes and praises Gu Wei, and Gu Wei becomes happy. After eating, Momo starts her work, and Gu Wei starts studying. Just then, the mom comes with fruits for them, and, seeing both of them working, forcibly takes them outside. After this, all of them are playing a game that Gu Wei does not know. Momo says, you play, I will teach you. Because of this, Gu Wei starts playing the game with them. The first time, Gu Wei loses, but then he notices the game and starts playing it, and wins every time, taking all the money. Seeing this, everyone praises him greatly. When they start to leave, Gu Wei gives all the money to Momo, and seeing this, she is very happy. After coming home, Momo gives that money to her mom and then focuses on her work. Just then, Gu Wei cannot find his book, so he picks up another book and starts reading. Just then, Momo's mom brings soup for them, and on the pretext of looking for a magazine, moves Gu Wei very close to Momo, because of which both become nervous and start drinking soup in the same style. Seeing this, the mom laughs at them and says, you two make quite a nice pair. The next morning during breakfast, Momo says, I have to go to the university today. Gu Wei says, me too. Hearing this, Momo's mom asks, will you two go together? Without thinking, Gu Wei says yes. Hearing this, Momo is shocked. Now both go on the bus together to the university, where Gu Wei asks Momo about a crosstalk. Momo tells him, I don't have it downloaded. Hearing this, Gu Wei says, I have it, and then takes out an earphone, putting one in his own ear and giving the other to Momo. While listening, Gu Wei and Momo are laughing, and then Gu Wei starts looking at Momo. In the next scene, Momo's mom meets Fu Pei, but the mom doesn't talk to him nicely. Just then, Momo also comes there, so the mom takes her and leaves. Seeing this, Fu Pei feels bad. After reaching home, Momo is sitting upset. Then the mom tells her, once Fu Pei came home to give you coffee, but we did not let him meet you, and because that day you had locked yourself in the room and was crying a lot. Seeing this, your dad and I got very worried. We looked at your diary, and on every page Fu Pei's name was written, from which we understood that you like Fu Pei. but he is a very clever boy, and it depends on you whom you choose. The next morning, Momo's mom is about to leave, but before leaving, she asks Momo to sign an agreement, which stated that she would not leave this house. Seeing this, Momo refuses to sign it. The mom says, "Fine, then I won't leave either." Hearing this, Momo quickly signs it. But after the mom leaves, Momo quickly packs her things and leaves from there. On the other side, when Gu-wei is in the lab with his senior, he gets a message from Momo telling him, "Mom has left, so I am also leaving from here." Hearing this, Gu-wei is sad. After this, when Gu-wei comes home, he gets upset remembering the moments he spent with Momo, and then, seeing some papers lying there, he makes a plan. On the other side, when Wang is studying with Fu-pei, Fu-pei keeps talking only about Momo. Wang says, "I will take your mock test now. If you pass it, we will go to Momo's house to meet her." Hearing this, Fu-pei is happy and quickly starts studying. Wang keeps watching him. In the next scene, when Momo is going to class, a girl comes and tells her, "I need your help to make an advertisement." Hearing this, Momo refuses. Then the girl gets upset. Seeing this, Momo remembers that Gu-wei had told her that what is important is to work in what you love. Remembering this, Momo agrees to help her. After this, Momo goes to the company and quits the job because now she only wanted to work on advertising. On the other side, after doing the experiment, Gu-wei starts writing a thesis for Momo. Just then, Professor Jiang comes and asks Gu-wei, "Have you done the experiment?" Gu-wei answers yes. Hearing this, Professor Jiang looks toward the seniors, and they also answer yes. Seeing this, Professor Jiang is shocked. He starts checking it and then calls Zhou Lei and Gu-wei. But Gu-wei was asleep, so Professor Jiang starts scolding him. Seeing this, Jie Yu tells the Sir, this calculation was done by Gu-wei. Hearing this, Zhou Lei and Professor Jiang are both shocked and then send Gu-wei to rest. The next night, when Momo comes home, she looks for Gu-wei. When she cannot find Gu-wei, she sits down sadly and calls him. But the sound of his phone rings right there in the house. Hearing this, Momo is happy. On the other side, Fu-pei's dad calls him, and Fu-pei goes to meet him at a restaurant, where Fu-pei's dad introduces him to his new assistant. But Fu-pei does not behave nicely with her, so the assistant excuses herself and leaves. Seeing this, the dad gets angry and comes home and scolds Fu-pei, saying, "You are exactly like your mom. Both mom and you are the same." Hearing this, Fu-pei says, "Don't say anything about my mom." Then the dad says, "Your mom left you in childhood." Fu-pei says, "She left because of you, because you used to trouble her." The dad says, "So that means she will leave you and not come back. And what do you think now? Will she come back? Absolutely not. She only loves my money, and if you don't have money, no one will stand by you and no one will care for you." Hearing this, Fu-pei looks at his dad angrily. His dad raises his hand to slap him, but Fu-pei grabs his hand and pushes him and leaves from there. Meanwhile, on the other side, Momo goes to Gu-wei's room, where Gu-wei is asleep. Momo tries to wake him up and then starts looking at him. Just then, his eyes open. So Momo falls to the ground. After this, the two watch a horror movie. After watching the horror movie, Gu-wei goes to do the dishes. Just then, the doorbell rings. Momo asks, "Who could it be at this time of night?" Gu-wei gives her a knife and goes to open the door himself. Fu-pei is there. Seeing him, Momo is shocked. Fu-pei says, "I need to talk to you." Momo takes Fu-pei outside to the garden. A little while later, Momo comes back nervously. Gu-wei asks her, "What did Fu-pei say?" Momo tries to change the subject, but Gu-wei asks the same question again. Now we see a past scene where Fu-pei had said to Momo, "I want to stay with you. We will be together." Momo refuses, saying, "Now I have no feelings for you in my heart." He says, "You always promised to be with me. How did you suddenly disappear from my heart?" Hearing this, Momo says, "It doesn't mean you suddenly disappeared from my heart. When you told Jair that we are not a couple, I told myself you were protecting me. When you let go of my hand on the bridge in front of the school, I told myself you got scared because anyone can get scared. You always made promises but never kept them, and I told myself he's a little crazy, so he forgets. When I saw you running outside Gu-wei's house, I was a little upset. But when I saw you with Wang, I felt that I should not be sad. I should have said that I have no more complaints about you. So after all this happened, I removed you from my heart. And yes, I did not distance myself from you. You kept me at a distance yourself." After saying all this, Momo starts to leave. So Fu-pei hugs her from behind and asks for one last chance. Momo refuses, but Fu-pei starts kissing her. So Momo pushes him and leaves. In the present scene, Momo tells Gu-wei, "Fu-pei confessed to me, but I rejected him." Hearing this, Gu-wei is very happy. Momo looks at him, so Gu-wei quickly goes to his room and is very happy. On the other side, Wang is waiting for Fu-pei. When Fu-pei comes there, Wang asks him, "Where were you and how did you get hurt?" Fu-pei says, "My dad hit me, but I am not angry because he has been hitting me since childhood. By the way, today I confessed to Momo, but Momo rejected me because everyone dislikes me." Hearing this, Wang says, "As far as I know, I like you." Hearing this, Fu-pei says, "No," saying, "But I am not a good boy." Wang says, to cheer him up, "I am not that small either. My height is also good. By the way, I will never stop chasing you. Hearing this, Fu Pei starts laughing. The next day, Momo and Wang go to get their theses printed. Just then, Gu Wei also comes there with Sai Yu and tells Momo, she is my senior. Momo says, I have met her before. Then Xie Yu asks Gu Wei, is she your girlfriend? Gu Wei says yes, but Momo tells him to stop talking nonsense and tells Xie Yu, no, I am not his girlfriend. Hearing this, Gu Wei feels bad and goes inside to get the paper printed. After the paper is printed, Momo starts talking to Gu Wei, but Gu Wei ignores her and starts talking to Xie Yu. Seeing this, Momo also becomes sad. After this, when she goes back to the hostel, a call comes from Gu Wei, who tells her, my mom is coming and wants to treat you, so come downstairs quickly. Hearing this, Momo doesn't understand anything and quickly goes to Gu Wei. After reaching the restaurant, Gu Wei's mom comes. Momo says hi to her. Gu Wei's mom starts ordering prawns for her, to which Momo says, but you are allergic to prawns, aren't you? Gu Wei tells his mom. So the mom says, but you used to love prawns. Gu Wei cuts her off and says, when I was small, you were busy with work. The mom quietly accepts his words. Now the mom says she wants to stay for one night, but Gu Wei tells his mom, I have already booked a cab. You will have to go. The mom has no choice but to leave. Seeing all this, Momo is shocked. The next morning, when Momo and Gu Wei are having breakfast, the doorbell rings. When Gu Wei opens the door, Momo's friends are there, who give her a birthday surprise. Momo tells them to leave, but Gu Wei invites them all inside and they all start decorating. Momo tells Gu Wei, I won't let anything get messy. Gu Wei says, it's okay, I will also put up balloons. Then he rubs a balloon against Momo's balloon and sticks it to the ceiling. After the decoration is done, Momo cuts the cake and everyone is very happy. Then they all start playing a game in which Momo had to make eye contact with Gu Wei. Hearing this, Momo is nervous, but then she makes eye contact with Gu Wei, and the two get lost in each other and start smiling. Then the others start laughing. Seeing this, both are embarrassed and quickly start drinking cold drinks. Then it is Gu Wei's turn. His dare is to take a selfie with someone he likes. Gu Wei takes a selfie of himself, but Momo also comes in the middle, probably because he liked Momo. But he tells everyone, I like myself, so I took a selfie of myself. After the party is over, everyone goes home. When Momo comes back after seeing them to the door, Gu Wei is asleep there. Momo quickly cleans the entire house and tries to wake Gu Wei up, but Gu Wei does not wake up, so Momo leaves him there and goes herself. At midnight, a balloon falls on Gu Wei, because of which his eyes open. On the other side, when Momo's eyes open, she comes out to look at Gu Wei, and Gu Wei is sitting in a strange position. Momo goes toward him and looks at him. Gu Wei also looks at her, and then he starts kissing Momo. After the kiss, Gu Wei goes back to sleep. Momo is shocked and leaves from there. The next morning, when Momo comes out of her room, Gu Wei has made breakfast for her. Seeing this, Momo is happy. Then Gu Wei asks her, did I disturb you last night? Momo says yes, so Gu Wei says, sorry, I should not have done that. On hearing this, Momo is happy because she thought Gu Wei was talking about the kiss. But when Gu Wei talks about the cleaning, hearing this, Momo gets angry and leaves without having breakfast. Gu Wei cannot understand anything. After this, Fu Pei is studying with Wang, but just then he starts thinking about something. Seeing him like this, Wang asks him to go on a date, and he agrees. Wang asks him to wait and leaves. When Wang comes back a little while later, Fu Pei keeps staring at her because she was looking very beautiful. Then the two go outside for a walk, where Wang holds Fu Pei's hand and says, we are dating each other, so we should do this. Then the two start playing a game in which they both enjoy a lot, and Fu Pei also wins. Then the two go to play another game where Fu Pei wins a Doraemon toy for Wang, but he accidentally says Momo's name, which makes Wang upset. But she says nothing to Fu Pei. After this, when Momo is at the company, Gu Wei sends her a message. I won't come home tonight. I will stay in the lab. Seeing this, Momo gets angry and messages back, fine, I will watch a horror movie too. Reading this message, Gu Wei smiles. Just then, he starts coughing. Zhou Lei says, Professor, Gu Wei has got an infection, so we should stay away from him. But Professor Jiang tells Gu Wei to go home and rest. Gu Wei is happy and leaves from there. On the other side, Momo comes out of the company with Jie when Fu Pei is standing there. Seeing him, Momo starts to leave, but Jie asks both of them to go have hot pot together. Momo refuses a lot, but Jie forcibly takes her along. After this, the three go to a restaurant and eat hot pot. Jie asks them about their relationship, and Momo says, there is nothing between us. We are only good friends. Hearing this, Jie leaves them alone, but after she leaves, Momo also leaves from there. Now when Momo reaches home, she is quite scared to see Gu Wei there. Gu Wei asks her, where were you? And I smell hot pot on you. Momo tells him, I went to a restaurant with Fu Pei and my college friend. Gu Wei says, but you had rejected him. Momo says, yes, but my college friend forcibly took me. Hearing this, Gu Wei gets angry and leaves from there. The next day, when Gue and Momo are at the bus stop, Momo tries to talk to Gue, but Gue is angry about the previous night's matter, so he doesn't answer properly. Just then, the bus comes, so Gue leaves. After this, when Gue goes to the lab, Professor Zhang gives him Xieyu's experiment as well because she was on leave that day. Seeing this, Zhou says, "You gave both experiments to Gue." Because of this, Gue gets angry and says, "Then you take it." But Zhou refuses. Now the two of them are seeing Gue upset for the first time like this. So Professor Zhang asks him, "Are you okay?" Gue says yes. Then Zhou tells him, "Are you upset because your girlfriend went to have dinner with her ex-boyfriend?" Gue says yes. Zhou says, "Then we will all go together and beat her ex-boyfriend." But the professor asks them to get back to work. Then the professor tells Gue, "A little while later I will give you something. I always use these tricks on my wife." For this, Gue agrees. After the experiment, Gue starts to leave from the lab, and when he opens his file, there is a book inside on how to impress girls, which Professor Zhang had given him. Seeing this, Gue is happy. At night, when Momo and Gue are watching TV, Gue gets a call from someone. So he goes outside to talk. Momo starts listening to his conversation because Gue was saying he was going to meet someone. Because of this, Momo also gets upset. After the call, Gue goes to his room and reads the book, in which one trick is to compliment girls. Reading this, Gue comes out and starts complimenting Momo. Momo doesn't understand anything. Then Gue goes back and reads the next trick. It says that boys should first focus on their hairstyle. Reading this, Gue starts looking at his hair. In the next scene, when Gue goes to the hostel, Professor Zhang calls him to his office. Just then, Zhou also stands outside and listens to their conversation. Professor Zhang asks Gue, "Did the book I gave you help at all?" Gue says, "I tried all the tricks, but nothing happened." Just then, Zhou comes inside and complains to the professor, "You give Gue personal tips because of which he excels." But the professor tells him everything and asks Gue to give that book to Zhou. But Gue says, "I left that book at home." Hearing this, Zhou says, "But I need that book." The professor calls his wife and asks her to come with a copy of that kind of book. A little while later, manager Pei Lan comes with that book and gives it to Zhou and tells Gue, "You are very smart. Don't listen to what the professor says and confess your feelings. The professor used to write poems for me, and that would melt my heart." Hearing this, the professor is embarrassed and asks her to be quiet. At night, after coming home, Gue tries to write a poem, but he cannot write one. So after thinking for a while, he writes a poem and draws a Doraemon sketch on it. The next day, he goes and shows that poem to the professor and Zhou. Seeing the poem, they praise Gue. The professor tells Gue, "Are you ready to confess today?" Gue says yes. Zhou wishes him good luck. At night, Momo is very cold and there is no light in the house either. So she calls Gue and asks him to bring a warming patch. Gue tells her, "It is snowing outside and come downstairs." Hearing this, Momo is happy and quickly goes downstairs where Gue is already standing. Seeing Momo, he is very happy. Then Gue gives her the poem he wrote, but when Momo opens it, there is an equation inside. Seeing this, Momo does not understand anything. She asks Gue, "Why are you giving me this? These are your notes, aren't they?" Gue asks, "Did you not understand anything?" Because Gue had written what was in his heart in the form of an equation. But Momo does not understand anything. Because of this, Gue becomes sad. Then the two go outside to eat something where Momo tells him, "I have never seen a snowman." Just then it is very cold there. So Gue gives her his coat. After this, the two come back home, where Gue gives her Doraemon warming patches. Seeing this, Momo is very happy. Then the two sit with a candle lit. Just then, messages come from the professor and Zhou asking Gue if he confessed, to which Gue replies, "Yes, I confessed, but she couldn't understand the equation." Just then, the professor calls him and says, "How could Momo not understand this when it was a very simple equation?" Zhou says, "Maybe she doesn't like you." The professor quiets him and asks Gue to make an equation for Momo based on her subject. Hearing this, Gue is happy and goes and asks Momo, "Do you understand accounting?" Momo says yes, so Gue makes an equation for her and asks her to solve it. Momo tries to solve the equation, but she cannot. Then Momo says, "Did I make a mistake today that you are insulting my IQ level?" Saying this, Momo refuses to solve the equation. Then Gue sends that equation to the professor, who solves it and sends it back, which is a heart. Then the professor tells Gue, "Tell her about spring breezes and blooming flowers like I do." Reading this, Gue asks Momo, "Momo, when spring breezes and blooming flowers come together, what happens?" Momo gives a funny answer and says, "If you add yummy crabs and chili to spring breezes, they will become even more yummy." Hearing this, Gue's mood goes bad and he wishes her good night and leaves. The next day, when Gue goes to the lab, Professor Zhang asks him, did you do what I said? Gu Wei says, yes, but she said it becomes yummy crabs. Hearing this, Professor Jiang says, maybe she is fooling you. Just then, Xie Yu comes there. So Zhou Lei asks her to stay away from him because he had an infection. Xie Yu sits beside Gu Wei. At lunchtime, Gu Wei gets a fever, so Zhou Lei, afraid of the infection spreading, submits a leave application on his behalf and sends him home. On the other side, for a project, manager Lin Yi is having a lot of juice. Momo tells her, we will take this to the company and let everyone taste it. Lin Yi says, take it to your house and taste it. Then tell me if this juice is healthier than mine. Meanwhile, on the other side, the doorbell rings, and Gu Wei happily opens the door. But Xie Yu is there, who comes to get some experiment files done. A little while later, the doorbell rings again. Xie Yu goes and opens the door, and Momo is there, who sees Xie Yu and is a little jealous. Then Xie Yu finishes her work and leaves. On the other side, Wang is studying with Fu Pei. Just then, she gets a call from Momo, who asks her how to make rice porridge. When Wang tells her the recipe for rice porridge, Momo does not understand anything. So Momo asks Wang to come and make the rice porridge. Wang agrees to this. After this, Wang takes Fu Pei to Momo's house, where Momo sees Fu Pei and asks, why did you bring him here? Wang changes the subject and says, did you bring oranges? Momo says, you were the one who was supposed to bring them. Wang says, I forgot. Go with Fu Pei and get them. Momo goes alone and Fu Pei also follows her. On the way, Momo tells Fu Pei, I don't like you anymore. Fu Pei says, I know you were treating me like a ghost. Then Momo asks him, do you like Wang? Fu Pei says, I don't know anything. Hearing this, Momo gets angry and leaves. After coming back home, Gu Wei asks Momo, where did you go? Momo tells him, I went to get oranges. Gu Wei asks, then where is Fu Pei? Momo says, he left. Gu Wei says, Wang also left. Saying this, Gu Wei starts to leave and says, next time, tell me before inviting your friends. Momo says, okay. In the next scene, after Fu Pei takes the CET4 exam, he goes to Wang. Wang tells him, I truly like you. I had thought that whenever you miss Momo, I will stand for you, but it is very difficult. Fu Pei says, but we are only friends. Wang says, but you still like her. He answers no and says, I should have told you what happened to me in these 20 years so that you would feel sympathy for me and forgive me. I have always wanted to make you mine, but I don't understand how to tell you that. I know I have made many mistakes. The relationship I had with Momo, I was not at all serious about it, but knowing all this, you helped me. Then I think, how can a girl be this strong? Now I realize that whatever I am doing is wrong. Wang, I like you too. Saying this, Fu Pei picks up a stone and says, if you also reject me, then I will hit myself with this. Hearing this, Wang says yes while laughing, because of which Fu Pei is happy. On the other side, Momo is making coffee for herself when her Doraemon mug falls from her hand and breaks. Because of this, Momo is very upset and starts picking up the pieces of the mug. Gu Wei comes and tries to help her, but Momo refuses. Just then, Gu Wei's robot circle comes there, and the pieces of the mug get stuck in it. Gu Wei takes it and goes inside. In the next scene, Momo and Meng are taking food from the canteen. Just then, Xie Yu comes there and says hi to Momo. Momo asks her to come forward, but Xie Yu refuses. So Momo and Meng take the food and sit at a table where Meng asks Momo, who was that girl? Momo tells her, she is a senior who works with Gu Wei in the lab. Meng says, so you must not like her because she stays close to Gu Wei. Momo says, I don't like Gu Wei, and I have no problem with this girl either. Meng says, if I stayed with that boy, I would have fallen in love with him. And you will see. You will too. Saying this, Meng teases her and leaves. Just then, Xie Yu comes and sits down and starts talking to her, and then goes to call Gu Wei. Just then, Meng comes back, so Momo quickly takes her and leaves. In this rush, Meng's mobile and Momo's canteen card are left behind. Just then, Gu Wei comes there and picks up the mobile and card, and also sees both of them leaving. On the other side, Meng tells Momo, but I wanted to eat. Momo says, I will treat you. Then Meng asks Momo for her mobile. Momo says, I think I forgot my card and mobile there. Just then, Gu Wei calls Momo and tells her, your mobile and card are with me. Come and get them. Momo then tells Meng they are with Gu Wei. Meng says, fine, you go get them. I have to go on a date with Ake. Saying this, Meng leaves. Momo starts going to Gu Wei's place, but then her eyes fall on Gu Wei. Momo is about to call out to him, but Xie Yu is also there from behind. Seeing this, Momo gets jealous again. As Gu Wei and Xie Yu go into a room, Momo starts listening to their conversation, where Zhou Lei has brought a kitten. Xie Yu tells them, isn't it so cute? Zhou Lei says, yes, it's very cute. But Gu Wei was allergic to cats and he tells them to keep the cat away. But Xie Yu deliberately brings the cat close to Gu Wei and asks, isn't it cute? Gu Wei says, yes, very cute. But outside, Momo hears all this and has a misunderstanding. So she gets angry and is about to leave. Just then, Professor Jiang comes there and asks, are you Gu Wei's friend? Were you looking for him? She answers yes. Just then, Gue comes there. So Professor Jiang leaves them alone. Gue says, "How long have you been waiting?" Momo rudely says, "No, I just got here." Then Gue gives her the mobile and card bag. Momo takes them and starts to leave. Gue asks, "Where are you going?" Momo says, "I'm going to the hostel." Then Gue asks, "When will you be back?" Momo gives the answer, "I don't know," and leaves. Seeing her like this, Gue thinks, what happened to her now? Why is she being jealous? At night, Gue is waiting outside the girls' hostel for Momo and calls her again and again, but Momo doesn't pick up his calls. Just then, Wang and Fu Pei come there. From the conversation between the two, Gue finds out that they are dating each other. So Gue tells Fu Pei, "I need to talk to you." After this, Fu Pei and Gue are sitting on the ground. Gue asks him, "Does Momo know about your and Wang's relationship?" Fu Pei says, "Everything is clear between us. She doesn't like me and neither do I like her. She is attracted to someone else and I am also Wang's now." Gue says, "Really?" Fu Pei says, "Yes, you snatched my girlfriend from me." Hearing this, Gue says, "Do you still think she was your girlfriend?" He says, "Yes." Then Gue says, "If I hit you, don't tell Momo." Just then, Momo's call comes to him and she asks, "Why did you call me?" Gue asks, "Why didn't you pick up my phone?" Momo tells him, "I was in the washroom and the phone was in the living room." Hearing this, he says, "Are you at home?" Momo says yes and hangs up. Then Fu Pei says, "Why did she hang up the phone? By the way, handling Momo is not an easy task." Hearing this, Gue glares at him. Then Fu Pei says, "Fine, C2 Mo. From today onwards, I will call her C2 Mo." After this, Gue goes home where Momo is doing her work. When Gue asks her anything, Momo gives rude answers. So Gue gets close to her and starts looking at her work. Seeing this, Momo looks at him angrily. Gue quickly moves back and gives Momo a gift, but Momo refuses to take it. So Gue leaves it there and goes to his room. After he goes into his room, when Momo looks at that bag, it has the same Doraemon mug inside. Seeing this, Momo is very happy. The next day, Gue is standing at the bus stop with Jolei's cat. Just then, a girl comes and starts asking him for his number. Just then, Momo gets off the bus, so Gue goes to her. Momo sees the cat and is very happy, and the two leave from there. Gue asks, "Isn't it cute?" Momo says, "Not bad." Hearing this, Gue says, to make her jealous, but my senior was saying it's very cute. Hearing this, Momo quietly goes inside the lift. Just then, Gue gets a message from Fu Pei which says, "I will teach you a secret thing for Mo. A girl cannot live without stickers, so stick to Mo and go wherever she goes." So after reaching home, Gue asks Momo to keep the cat, but she refuses and asks, "Why did you bring it?" Gue says, "I found it very cute, but my senior didn't." Hearing this, Momo quickly closes the door. Then Gue wears a mask and sits stuck to the sofa, but the cat keeps crying. Then Gue stands far away from it, opens the zip, and asks it from far away to come out. Just then, Momo comes there and asks, "Do you really have an allergy from it?" And then she takes the cat away. A little while later, Momo brings the cat out and deliberately starts teasing Gue. Gue is very scared and asks her to move it away. But Momo keeps bringing the cat close to him and says, "Come, kiss the cat." Hearing this, Gue says, "Move the cat back. If you don't move it back, I will kiss you." Accidentally, Momo says, "It doesn't matter. You kissed me that night too." Saying this, Momo quickly runs away. Then Gue starts thinking. The next morning, when Momo is about to go to the company, Gue says, "You should have recorded everything." Momo says nothing. Gue asks her, "Did you close the zip of the bag?" Momo says yes. Gue says, "That's good. I was worried." And hearing this, Momo gets angry and brings a lot of cold drinks and puts them in front of Gue, asking him to forcibly drink all of them. He starts drinking them, but just then the kiss from that night comes to his mind. So Gue gets close to Momo to kiss her, but Momo angrily pushes him back and leaves from there. After this, Momo goes to the company, but she has no interest in any work. She is only thinking about Gue and writing down his points. On the other side, Gue keeps thinking about Momo too, so he tells Professor Jiang, "Sir, I need to tell you something." Professor Jiang says, "You can ask me anything." Gue says, "One day I was drunk, and that day I kissed Momo, but later I tried again, but she pushed me back. Is it possible that she hates me?" Hearing this, Professor Jiang asks Gue to take Momo to a beautiful place. In the next scene, when Momo comes out of the company, Gue is standing there. Momo asks him, "Why did you come here?" Gue says, "I am taking you to a place." Saying this, he takes Momo with him. Momo asks him, "Where are we going?" But he asks her to keep walking quietly. A little while later, Gue and Momo reach an amusement park, seeing which Momo is very happy. Then the two go inside where Gue puts Momo in a go-kart and tells her, "I want to say something to you." Momo tells him, "Yes, Say it. Now as Gue starts to confess to Momo, other people from behind come and start bumping into their car, because of which they get disturbed and start playing with them. After playing the game, the two go outside. Momo tells him, "What were you saying to me at that time?" Now Gue starts to confess to her again, but just then the professor calls him. After this, the two go home. Gue goes to clean the washroom, so Momo starts watching TV there. When Gue comes back, he asks Momo about food. Momo does not answer, so Gue sees that she has fallen asleep. So he carries her and puts her to sleep inside the room. Gue's hand gets trapped under Momo. Gue tries to pull it out, but he cannot get his hand out. So Gue stays there and waits. Then a little while later, Momo shifts to the other side. So Gue pulls his hand out. The next morning, when Momo's eyes open, she sees that Gue has made rice noodles for her, but Gue could not stand the smell of them. So it's down there himself. Momo tells him, "Gue, you look strange like that." Gue says, "I am waiting for the bowl to be cleaned." A little while later, Momo asks him, "Do you like me?" Hearing this, Gue immediately says yes. Momo is shocked. Gue asks her, "Do you also like me?" Momo, while blushing, says yes. Hearing this, Gue is very happy, and Momo, also blushing, goes inside. After this, when Gue is in the lab, he tries to send a message to Momo but doesn't understand what to say. Just then, Jolie tells the professor, Gue is using his mobile. The professor says, Gue is in love right now, that's why. Hearing this, Xiaoyu asks him, Gue, who is your girlfriend? He takes Ctumo's name. Hearing this, Xiaoyu gets upset. Jolie says, you are reacting like you know Ctumo. Xiaoyu and the professor say, we have met Ctumo. Hearing this, Jolie asks Gue, when will you introduce me to Ctumo? Gue says, stop dreaming. On the other side, Momo comes out of the company, right? She thinks Gue will come to pick her up, but Gue is not there. So she goes to the bus stop where Gue is sitting. Seeing this, Momo is happy. Just then, the bus comes. So Gue boards first and extends his hand forward, because of which Momo thinks he is helping her. So she starts holding Gue's hand, but he pulls his hand back, because of which Momo gets a little angry. After reaching home, Gue accidentally wears Momo's slippers. Seeing this, Momo laughs and tells him about it. As Gue starts to take off the slipper, it gets stuck on his foot. Momo tries to help him, but Gue goes to his room and takes off the slipper and gives it to Momo. Then Gue calls Fu Pei and asks him, how do I arrange dinner for Momo? Fu Pei says, hey, the more you care for her, the more she will suspect you. Then Gue hangs up and asks Momo to go for dinner. But she refuses, saying, I also have to bathe, and besides, I have a shooting tomorrow. Now when Momo comes out after bathing, the lights are off. Momo turns on the lights. Seeing this, Gue gets angry. Momo quickly turns off the lights. Gue lights a candle and serves food to Momo. Seeing this, Momo is happy. The next morning, Gue's eyes open and he goes to Momo's room, but Momo is not there. Gue sends her a message. On the other side, Momo has come to the shooting where she is welcoming actor Lin Ji, but the manager makes fun of Momo. Then she takes Lin Ji to the makeup room and, looking in the mirror herself, starts missing Gue. Then Lin Jar says, you have never seen a handsome boy like me till today. Momo says, my boyfriend is more handsome than you. Hearing this, Lin Jar says, you must be an intern. That's why you did not treat my manager well. Just then, the manager comes there and sends everyone out and starts scolding Lin Ji herself. But Momo hears their conversation. Then Lin Ji gets ready and comes out. He is looking very handsome. After the shooting, Momo takes food and sits on a box. Lin Ji comes and stops her from sitting on the box, and then the two sit together and have lunch. On the other side, Gue is missing Momo a lot, so he asks her, what are you doing? Momo replies, I am working a lot today. Gue says, if you have forgotten something at home, I can help you get it. Momo says, yes, there should be an envelope on my desk. Please bring it and give it to me. And this envelope was sent by Ji Air to get Lin Ji's autograph. After this, Gue comes to that shooting location, and Momo comes outside to meet him. Just then, Momo is feeling sleepy. Gue offers his shoulder to her. Momo doesn't understand anything and says, your shoulder must be hurting, and shall I massage it? Gue puts her head on his shoulder and asks her to sleep. Momo puts her head on his shoulder and falls asleep. A little while later, Momo's phone rings, and her manager calls her back to the shoot. Hearing this, Momo quickly goes inside, where a coat was not fitting Lin Ji. So Momo gets an idea and goes and gets Gue's coat and gives it to Lin Ji. Lin Ji wears it and goes for the shoot. As Lin Ji goes outside wearing that coat, Gue sees him. Then Lin Ji and Momo sit down and work together. He says, it is very cold today. Hearing this, Momo remembers Gue, that he is standing outside without a coat. So she borrows the coat from Lin Ji and goes and gives it to Gue, holds his face and says, I will come quickly. Wait like a good boy. Hearing this, Gue is happy. During the shooting, Linji sees that envelope in the coat and he thinks Momo is his fan and wants his autograph. So he gives Momo his autograph and also adds her on WeChat. Gu Wei sees all this and is getting jealous. After the shooting is over, Gu Wei takes Momo on a date where they both have milkshakes. Momo drinks his milkshake and says, "This is tastier." Gu Wei gives her his milkshake. Momo tries both and also gives some to Gu Wei. Then, Momo and he go to buy a dress, where Gu Wei tries on many dresses and buys the one Momo likes. When Momo starts trying on dresses, Gu Wei doesn't like any of them because Momo's body is visible in all of them. Then, Momo tries on a full dress which Gu Wei likes very much. After the dresses, the two see children playing at a playground, but they cannot go there because they are adults. So Gu Wei brings a child from somewhere, and the two become parents and go into that playground where they all enjoy a lot. Then Momo hides in the balls, and Gu Wei finds her and is dragging her out by her legs. But just then, due to bumping into a large ball, Gu Wei falls on top of Momo, because of which both of their heartbeats increase a lot and then both move back feeling embarrassed. After this, the two are going back home and Momo is very cold. So Gu Wei holds her hand and says, "Let us go home and watch a movie under one blanket." Momo says yes to this, but when the two get home, Wang is standing there. Seeing this, the two are shocked. Wang says sorry for disturbing them. Momo takes her to her room where Wang tells her, "I had a fight with Fu Pei." And then she starts telling her everything. Momo is getting bored listening to her conversation. On the other side, Gu Wei is also waiting for Wang to leave, so he also sends a message to Momo, but Momo cannot reply to him. Then Gu Wei knocks on the room door with water for them, but Wang says no. After this, Gu Wei goes to sleep in his room, and Momo and Wang also go to sleep in that room. But Gu Wei cannot sleep, so he goes outside and drinks water. Just then, Momo comes there. Gu Wei grabs her and starts spinning her around, and then brings her close to the fridge and starts kissing her. Momo also kisses him back. After the kiss, both sit down. Momo holds her neck. Gu Wei asks her, "Yeah, is your neck hurting?" Momo says, "Yes, it's because of the cold." Gu Wei gets up to close the window. Momo stops him and says, "I was too close to the fridge, that's why it hurts." Hearing this, Gu Wei quickly sits down and asks Momo, "When will Wang leave?" Momo tells him, "Wang and Fu Pei had a fight." Hearing this, Gu Wei calls Fu Pei. Fu Pei says, "Why did you call me at this time of night?" Momo tells him, "Wang is at our house." Gu Wei says, "Fu Pei, please come and take her away." Momo stops him and changes the subject, but Gu Wei says again, "You should come and take her away." Saying this, he ends the call. Momo says, "You have no sense." Gu Wei says, "Whatever I did right. I did." The next morning, all three have breakfast together. Gu Wei signals Momo to ask when she is leaving, but Momo doesn't understand how to ask. So she tells Wang, "If you are free today, we can watch a movie together." Hearing this, Gu Wei glares at her. Then Wang says, "No, I have an exam today. I have to go." Hearing this, Momo and Gu Wei are very happy. Now when Wang leaves from there, Momo sends a message to Fu Pei, who is standing right outside. Fu Pei asks Wang to sit on his bike, but Wang refuses and goes and sits in a cab, and is very happy. After sitting in the cab, Wang thinks Fu Pei will be behind her, but that doesn't happen. She gets sad, but as the cab goes forward, there is a lot of traffic, because of which the cab gets stuck. Wang gets worried, but just then, Fu Pei comes there and takes Wang on his bike to the university and tells her, "I borrowed this bike from someone so that you could reach quickly." Hearing this, Wang is very happy. On the other side, Momo and Gu Wei are watching a movie together. Gu Wei says, "Let us watch one more movie." But Momo refuses because they had already watched 2 movies together. So Gu Wei says to go shopping, but Momo refuses, saying, "We just went shopping yesterday." After this, Momo asks him to exercise. Gu Wei refuses because he didn't like exercising, but even so, he goes to the ground at Momo's insistence. There, the two start playing ping pong. Momo is playing very well, but Gu Wei doesn't know how to play, so he starts finding faults in the balls. Momo says, "The problem is not in the ball, but inside you." Hearing this, Gu Wei gets angry. At night, the two go home and say goodnight to each other outside their respective rooms and go inside, but then both come back out together. Momo says, "There is still a lot of time left." Gu Wei also says yes, and the two sit down and start watching a movie. Momo is feeling sleepy, but she is not sleeping. Gu Wei also does not sleep because of Momo. Just then, Momo falls asleep and puts her head on Gu Wei's shoulder. A little while later, Gu Wei also falls asleep there. The next morning, when Momo's eyes open, she starts looking at Gu Wei. But when Gu Wei's eyes open, Momo puts her head back on his shoulder and pretends to sleep. She starts thinking, "How do I get up?" But Gue realizes that Momo is pretending to sleep, so he puts Momo's head back and himself comes down and wakes Momo up. Momo pretends to wake up. Gue says, "Stop acting, I know you are awake." Hearing this, Momo goes to her room. In the next scene, Gue is standing outside Momo's company waiting for her. But just then, Momo comes there with Linji. Seeing both of them, Gue gets jealous. Momo runs to Gue, seeing which Linji says, "What a lovely contrast," and leaves from there. Momo and Gue also start to leave. Gue's mood is bad, so Momo asks him, "What happened to you?" Gue says, "Whenever you are with your college friend, I feel bad. Keep your distance from him." Hearing this, Momo tells him he is an artist. He only looks handsome because of makeup. By the way, you are getting jealous of him. Saying this, Momo starts teasing him. Gue kisses her, because of which Momo is shocked. In the next scene, Gue and Momo were going to their respective hometowns for the winter vacation, and because of this, Gue is very sad. Momo says, "We will be back quickly." Hearing this, Gue gets in line. Momo sends him a flying kiss and leaves from there. After this, Momo reaches her home and messages Gue, "I have reached home. Where are you?" On the other side, Gue is also sitting in the car with his parents and tells Momo, "I have also reached." Meanwhile, Momo sends Gue a picture of her food while eating, seeing which Momo's parents are surprised. Her brother Hao asks her, "Why are you so happy?" Momo tells him to be quiet. The next morning, Gue video calls Momo, but Momo does not show her face because she was in a very rough condition. Gue asks her to show her face. Momo says, "I am looking very pretty because I am wearing very sexy clothes. If you look at me, you won't be able to control yourself." Just then, Gue's mom comes there and says, "If you have any dirty clothes lying around, give them to me." Momo refuses. So her mom gets angry and says, "Look at your pants. You've been wearing them for a week. The smell coming from them, take them off and give them to me, and look at your hair, how oily it is. Go and take a bath." Hearing this, Gue starts laughing. So Momo quickly cuts the call. On the other side, Gue is also having dinner with his parents. His mom takes Momo's name in front of his dad. The dad asks, "Who is Momo?" Gue's mom says, "Momo is my friend's daughter who shares a house with Gue." Hearing this, Gue's dad starts getting angry. Gue says, "I like Momo." Hearing this, his dad is shocked, but he says nothing to Gue. In the next scene, a few weeks later, Momo comes back and is waiting for Gue at the bus stop. A little while later, Gue comes there on skates. Seeing this, Momo asks him, "How did you learn skating so quickly?" Gue says, "Because I am intelligent." Then he picks up Momo's luggage and starts walking home. On the way, Gue sees a couple holding each other's hands. After reaching home, Gue holds Momo's hand and says, "You just hold my hand. I will carry the luggage myself." And this was the same line that couple had also said. Hearing this, Momo does not understand anything. Gue says, "Forget it." Hearing this, Momo hugs Gue. He says, "I missed you a lot." At night, Gue turns off the house lights and shows Momo his gadget, with which Momo could also create light in the dark. Seeing this, Momo is happy and says, "But even after using this, the light is still a little dim. My phone has more light than this." Gue says, "I will still work on this and give my best." After this, Momo is sitting in the room and working. Just then, she doesn't understand the color after converting to CDR. So she sends a message in the group asking if anyone knows how to do it. Gue sees this message and replies that he knows how to do it. Seeing this, Momo goes to Gue. Gue tells her, "Sit on my bed, I will do it." But Momo says, "I am going to my room." Gue says, "You are scared." So Momo, without disagreeing, sits on that bed and falls asleep right there. A little while later, after completing the work, Gue goes to her and looks at her, and then he also goes to sleep beside Momo and smiles while looking at her. Now when Gue's eyes open in the morning, Momo is sleeping with her leg on top of him. So he tries to slowly pull his foot out, but just then, Momo's eyes open. After this, Momo hangs her washed clothes to dry, but just then, Gue's underwear is lying there on the ground, so she picks it up and starts washing it. Just then, Gue comes with breakfast and calls Momo for breakfast. Momo says, "I am coming." Just then, Gue's eyes fall on the underwear, so he quickly grabs it and, feeling very embarrassed, says, "You didn't need to do all this." Then both sit down to have breakfast. Gue, because of embarrassment, is not eating anything. Momo says, "In my house there is my brother. I dry everyone's clothes, so you don't need to be embarrassed. And besides, I didn't think anything wrong. By the way, we also slept in one bed and nothing happened between us." Hearing this, Gue picks up Momo, takes her to the room, and locks the door. Seeing this, Momo is shocked. Gue gets close to her, but just then, he starts getting dizzy, lies down on the side, and says, "I am not feeling well." Then both go back to have breakfast. The next day, at their university's graduation ceremony, Momo and Gue get ready and go, but Gue is called to the lab. Seeing this, Mung says, "Your boyfriend is leaving you. Go and check if there is some other girl in the lab waiting for Gue." Hearing this, Momo gets angry. On the other side, in the lab, Gu is with Zhou Lei and the others. Xie gives them bouquets in celebration of graduation being complete. Then Zhou Lei and Gu Wei take photos. Xie looks at those photos and sees that Gu Wei's tie was not straight, so she starts straightening Gu Wei's tie. Gu Wei tries to stop her, but Xie straightens it at the professor's insistence. Just then, Momo comes there and is shocked to see Gu Wei with Xie. Then Zhou Lei says hi to her and asks her to click a photo. Momo clicks a photo of all of them. Zhou Lei says, "Will you take a selfie with me?" Hearing this, Gu Wei refuses, but Momo immediately says yes. When Zhou Lei starts taking a selfie, Gu Wei comes between the two of them. After the selfie, Momo leaves from there, so Gu Wei also follows her. Momo goes to her friends, where their boyfriends had given them all bouquets, but Momo didn't have one. Seeing this, Gu Wei gives her the bouquet that Xie had given him, but when Momo starts to leave, Gu Wei follows her. After this, Momo goes to the playground. Gu Wei also goes there, lifts Momo and sits her on the net, and asks her, "After all, what do you want?" Momo says, "Understand whatever you want." Hearing this, Gu Wei kisses Momo, because of which Momo is very happy. After this, Senior Jianxue takes an exam of Gu Wei and Zhou Lei. In this exam, whoever passes will go with them for the Germany experiment. Just then, Gu Wei quickly finishes the exam and leaves. On the other side, Momo is also packing her things from the hostel. Gu Wei calls her and says, "I have some work in the lab. When you are free, call me." Saying this, Gu Wei goes toward the lab. There, Jianxue is scolding Zhou Lei for keeping a cat in the lab. Just then, Gu Wei comes and talks to Jianxue, so she starts scolding him too. Zhou Lei says, "You have nothing else to do. That's why you are scolding me." Actually, Jianxue wanted to expel Zhou Lei, so she says she will go and complain to the university. Just then, Professor Jiang comes and says, "Jianxue, I know everything, so I will handle it." Then Xie takes Jianxue away. Meanwhile, outside the hostel, Wang is waiting for Fu Pei. Just then, Fu Pei's dad comes there. Wang asks him, "Who have you come to meet?" The dad says, "I have come to meet Miss Jianxue because Fu Pei did not behave well with her." Wang explains to him, "You are doing wrong by Fu Pei. He is a very good boy who is starting a business with his own money." Hearing this, the dad is a little shocked. Just then, Fu Pei comes there and takes Wang away. On the other side, Jianxue is telling Xie about Fu Pei. He is a very rude boy. He has no manners. Xie says, "I don't know him." Just then, Gu Wei overhears this and then goes to the library. Just then, Jianxue also goes to him and starts talking badly about Momo and says, "She is not the type of girl for you." Hearing this, Gu Wei angrily says, "It would be better if you don't even think about my girlfriend. And the Fu Pei you were talking about is my friend. He is not rude at all. He is better than you." Saying this, Gu Wei leaves. In the next scene, Gu Wei and Momo buy new things for their house and come back. After coming home, both of them set up everything together and enjoy a lot. After setting everything up, the two go and lie down in the room. Gu Wei starts looking at Momo, and Momo is also looking at him. Gu Wei suddenly gets up, so Momo also goes on the pretext of taking a shower. After this, Momo washes her room's bedsheet. Seeing this, Gu Wei asks her to sleep in his room. Momo refuses and goes outside and starts cleaning her ears. Gu Wei again asks her to sleep in his room. She refuses again. Seeing this, Gu Wei asks her, "Why are you so troubled staying with me?" Hearing this, Momo goes into his room and goes to sleep, but she cannot fall asleep. Just then, she hears some sounds from outside. So she quickly goes to Gu Wei and asks him, "What happened to you?" He says, I can only sleep in my own bed." Momo asks him to sleep with her on the bed and both go to sleep together. Momo says, "I trust you." Hearing this, he says, "Don't trust me so much." Momo quickly gets up to leave, so Gu Wei asks her to go back to sleep. Momo asks Gu Wei to turn off the light. When Gu Wei goes to turn off the light, she asks, "Do you like me?" Hearing this, Gu Wei says, "I love you" to her. Momo also says, "Me too" to him, and both start kissing each other. After this, the two are asleep. Momo says, "It's okay. You always used to say that there is a lot of difference between theory and practice. There is no need to explain. But we haven't studied the theory either, and it is a random thing that you don't know how to study for the first time." Gu Wei asks her to be quiet. The next morning, Gu Wei gets up early and starts studying about the female body. In the next scene, when Gu Wei goes to the lab, he is told, "You have been selected for the Germany University experiment." Hearing this, Zhou Lei gets a little upset. After this, Momo comes to the lab to meet Gu Wei and asks him for his coat. Gu Wei takes off his coat and gives it to her. Momo wears it and starts talking like a scientist. Gu Wei sits her in a chair and tells her, "I have to go to the German university with my senior for an experiment. It can take 6 months, and my visa has also been made for this." Hearing this, Momo becomes sad and leaves from there. At night, Momo is not talking to Gu Wei. Gu Wei asks, "Are you angry with me right now?" Momo says, "Why did you not tell me all this earlier?" Gu Wei says, "I always tell everyone after making my own decision because..." Momo cuts him off and says, "Because your parents didn't give you time." Gu says, yes. By the way, I will do whatever you say. Hearing this, Momo says, if I say that you don't go, Gu says yes. Momo sadly hugs him. After this, Gu is packing. Momo sits inside the bag, so Gu hugs her and explains to her. In the next scene, Gu takes Momo with him to the airport. There, Momo walks around with Gu and they enjoy themselves. Momo tells him to go to one more place, but Gu refuses and says, Momo, my flight time has come. I have to leave now. Hearing this, Momo says while crying, I cannot stay without you. Gu hugs her. Momo cries a lot, and then she says goodbye to Gu and leaves. Now we see a scene from 6 months later where Fupe had opened a sports company. Wang was also working with him, but their company was running at a slight loss. On the other side, Momo is talking to Gu on a video call. Just then, her mom calls out to her. Momo goes to eat, where her mom asks her about the Germany visa. Momo says, my visa was rejected. Then her mom asks, when are you two getting married? Hearing this, Momo leaves from there. The next day, Momo finds her agreement under the table, the one she had made with her mom. Seeing this, Momo remembers the moments she spent with Gu and then quickly starts packing her things. Her mom tries to stop her from going there. Momo says, I will go there and force him to marry me. Hearing this, the mom helps her pack. In the next scene, when Gu reaches home, he calls Fupe and asks, I have not talked to Momo today. Do you know where she is? Fupe says no. After putting down the call, Gu goes to the room and someone is asleep there. Seeing this, Gu goes to his friend and asks, why is your girlfriend sleeping in my bed? His friend says, that is your girlfriend. Hearing this, Gu goes to the room and Momo is there. Seeing her, Gu is very happy, but he does not wake her up from sleep and keeps looking at her. The next morning, a girl is telling Gu that she wants to see his girlfriend. Just then, Momo comes there and says, I am his girlfriend. Hearing this, that girl does not believe it. Then Gu hugs Momo and says, she is my wife. Hearing this, that girl leaves. Momo starts getting angry at Gu. Gu tells her to get ready. After this, Gu takes Momo to a church where the church father says, I am very happy because I am getting Cdrama and Gu married. Hearing this, Momo asks Gu, what is all this? Gu holds her hand. The father says, do you, Gu, accept Cdrama as your wife? Will you always be with her? Love only her and give her comfort? Gu says yes. Then the father asks Momo the same question. Momo remembers the moments she spent with Gu and then says yes. Hearing this, Gu is very happy. After this, the two go to a restaurant where Xiaoyu comes and asks, Momo, when did you come here? Gu says she had come here to get married. So we got married. Xiaoyu congratulates them, and as they leave, she is very happy seeing both of them. At night, when Gu comes to the room, Momo gets angry and asks him, where is my wedding ring? And I didn't even put on a wedding gown. Hearing this, Gu starts pretending to be asleep. Momo starts waking him up. Then Gu grabs Momo and starts kissing her, and both hug each other and go to sleep. The next morning, Momo is about to go back to China. Gu tells her, you forgot something. Saying this, he goes upstairs. A little while later, Gu comes with his own luggage packed because he was also going with Momo. Seeing this, Momo is very happy. In the next scene, the two come back home and Gu puts his things in Momo's room because now they were going to live in one room. Momo says, but we haven't told mom and dad that we got married. Gu says, I had already applied for the marriage certificate. After this, the two get their photos clicked for the marriage certification and are very happy. Then Gu gets a call from Momo's mom who congratulates them on the marriage. The next day, Gu's parents come to their house. Momo gives them tea, and then Momo and Gu's mom start making food. Gu's dad watches the sunset with him and says, don't think of marriage as something scary, and don't treat it like a scientific project. Treat it emotionally. I always want to see you both happy. Gu says yes to this. At night, Momo is looking for a job and is a little worried. Gu gives her his ATM card and tells her to chill. Seeing this, Momo is happy, and then the two enjoy themselves and go to sleep. The next morning, when Gu is going to the lab, Momo asks him to drink herbal tea. Gu drinks that tea, so Momo says, did you taste it? Gu says, yes, now make it sweet. Hearing this, Momo kisses Gu and says goodbye and leaves. Then Gu is very happy. On the other side, Fupe proposes to Wang for marriage and gives her a ring. Wang says yes, and the two are very happy. In the next scene, Gu is wearing a suit and waiting for Momo, and he sends her a message. Meanwhile, Momo is also getting ready wearing a bridal dress. A little while later, when Momo comes there, Gu keeps staring at her. Then Gu holds her hand and remembers the time he spent with her, and then the two get their wedding shoot done on the car. Now we see a scene from a few years later where Momo calls Gu to come and tie her hair. Gu comes and ties her hair, and then the two go into the room where their son is also sitting, whose name Gu has given as Gu Mo. He says to his dad, Gu, bring me a glass of juice. I am Momo. Hearing this, Gu and Momo come outside and start laughing seeing him. And right here,